Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Sam, your favorite loan broker. Guys, today's video is about a problem that the bank has, right? Now, something called life happens. We all know what happens, right? Now, when an individual could lose a job, it could be domestic dispute, fire damage, repair to a home, cut back on hours, mental illness that does happen, body, you hurt yourself at the job and you can't work and check it just is not coming in, right? So now there's a problem that a bank acquires every day. Guys, let's just say there's 30 banks. Just to simplify it, one bank gets about 1,000 homeowners that stop paying a day, right? In a year, that gives you 365,000 homeowners slash inventory that a bank acquires of people stop paying, right? Now, of course, banks does have insurance, right? Insurance does not kick in right away for a bank. It takes anywhere from 6 months, 1 year to 2 years, depending on the state or the county eviction process, right? Depending if the homeowner works with the bank as well, if they try to sell the home, or if depending whatever their situation, if they're ignoring the bank, then the bank has to do what the bank has to do, right? So now one bank acquires a year 365,000 customers that stop paying their mortgage, right? Now, guys, you might say, well, how does that benefit you? I'm going to break down in mortgage math. How does that benefit you? And a little known fact is the bank is actually waiting on you to contact them to alleviate their problems, right? So guys, let's break down a variable. All right, guys, let's dive right into it, right? We're on Google. There's the address. I love to use Zillow because it gives more variables of the property. Here we go. Let's scroll down. Scroll down to the important info. Now, show more. Now, my neighbor, I'm going to show you right here. It shows you that it says September 2019, my neighbor purchased this home for $343,000, right? Yes, he purchased this home in $343,000. Now, let me break something down for you. Something that is very beneficial that investors are doing, but regular individuals, home buyers, borrowers, well, pre-home buyers can get in on it, right? Let's go. Open another window here. I'm going to put, what is this? Okay, right here, September 2019 mortgage rates. It shows you here. Let me see, for a 30-year fixed mortgage, it was around 3.56, right, guys? Now, as you know, I like to use mortgage loan calculator. And the favorite one you like to use, you can use any one you want. I'm not promoting anyone, but let's use this one. Now, his home value here was $300,000. He put down, I don't know for sure how much he put down, but let's just use 5%. Now his mortgage, we just went on to show you how much his rate was, right? Let's put his rate was 3.75, right? Let's go back to see the property tax. Scroll down. Okay, he bought it 2019. As you can see, currently his mortgage is $12,000. Well, that home property is $12,000. But when he bought it 2019, it was round off about $7,700, right? Let's go back. So property tax, $7,700. Homeowners insurance, I'll put that at $800. PMI, most likely he had a PMI of $1,200. HOA, no. Other, no. Calculate. What does it gives you? It gives you a total out of pocket. My neighbor was paying $2,400 in for a whole house. He actually has a 4-bedroom, huge backyard, finished basement with laundry and et cetera, et cetera. So $2,400, right? Now, as you can see, that's the mortgage payments. Let's go back to the home. Let's break down something. Now, he purchased it. Where are you? Right here. As you can see, list to sell. Oh, wait, right here, sold. He purchased it for $343,000. Now, what ended up happening to my neighbor, guys? Life happens, right? And there's some people, you try to help them out, but they have their own conclusion of how they think or how they do things, right? So now, 4 years later, my neighbor ran into some problems. It was, marriage problems and no overtime. He's getting his set 40 hours, but no overtime. Company is going through some different changes, right? So now finance is not coming in the way it is, right? Now, things happen, life, right? So now he says he can't pay the mortgage. That just happens, right? Now, stop paying mortgage. Now, it takes 3 months for the bank in order to process it and put it as public record that you stop paying. Once you do that, any investor that knows the website or the department to go has access to know this home is in the foreclosure process, right? So now what ended up happening, which I could have helped my neighbor, but everyone sees everyone differently. And for different reasons, they believe one person versus another, right? And at the same time, too, some investors are well trained on how to secure a customer or a client, right? So now they reached out to him. They says, "Hey, we notice you're late on your payments. We want to see how we can help you out on the different variables. And if that doesn't happen, let's see if we can sell your home so you don't end up in more financial distress," right? So now what ended up happening? The investor knows how to prolong the mortgage, the foreclosure process. So and I know this because in my department, like it's a known fact in finances how to do it. It's called a grace period. Let's just say you're late on a payment or one day, or let's say 1 week before a payment, you can call your company and say, "Listen, I need a 30-day extension or a depending how long it is." But now this investor knew how to prolong the foreclosure process. So how he got my neighbor was he says, "Listen, I can help you out to stay in here 1 year with no payments and stop any fees accumulating." Neighbor goes, "Okay, great. Let's go with that," right? So now, as you can see, 4 years into my neighbor's mortgage, he ran into life, right? An investor reached out to him, and like I said, I try to help him, but everyone has their own understanding. So now, let's look at this, guys. December 2024, the investor, which this is a known fact, the investor reached out to the bank and said, "Listen, I want to purchase this home and I'll give you 160,000. Don't forget, the bank has a problem. The bank is like, "Listen, this person isn't paying. I have a mortgage, which is called a note that they still have, and then the insurance didn't kick in." So now an investor comes say, "Listen, I'll give you 160,000 to secure this thing and give me some time." The bank goes, "Of course." Why? Because that's business as usual. Now, in what is this? 5/2025, right? The investor puts another $403,000. Guys, this money I'm talking to you about, it's not that the investor is sitting on a boatload of money. The investor is getting a loan in order to make this happen, guys. And on my channel, I break this down. How does the investor do it and how you can do it, right? So now the investor gets the initial for the investor to lock it in 160. Now, if you look at the timeline, it's showing you, I think what's this, 5 months later, he puts down $403,000. Now, what does the investor do now? He got the home. Now he listed for sale, right? Now, guys, let me break down something. I don't want to say which is funny, but when you're going through hardship, I guess it makes sense, right? Let's go to a calculator. Move myself over. Now, the neighbor home is 343. Let's just say the neighbor put down 3.5%. Where's that? Whoops, did that wrong. The neighbor puts down 3.5%, giving you move myself here, giving you $12,000. Or the neighbor puts 5% down, giving you $17,000. Now, here's a line that the neighbors do. Hey, don't forget, the investor most likely speaks to the bank and then gets the documents, the paperwork on what the homeowner put down. So now the investor most likely told them, "Listen, you put down 5%, this is what I'll do for you," right? To get you out of the jam. Upon leaving and signing the documents, I'll give you your down payment back of 3.5 or 17, then I'll buy you time anywhere from 1 year or 2 years, right? So now you're going through hardship. You had put down, let's just say 17,000, you can't pay. And then now someone comes along and say, listen, stay here for 1 year. Hopefully things picks up. If it don't, I take over the house. You walk away with what you put down, right? Now, move myself here. So now the investor, if you look at it, the investor stepped in. Where is it here? He stepped in about halfway through the year of 2024, and then he sold this property in 2025. So that's giving you, what is that? That's 14 months. Now, to give you a perspective, look, this house sold for 610. Simple math. Move myself over. House currently is 610 because that's the comps in the area. And the neighbor bought it for 434. 1, 2, 3. That's 267,000, guys. Now, there's another little variable that I want to break down to show you something, right, guys? Where is it? What do I need? Let's go here. Right. And I try to educate you guys because it's a simple information known in the real estate world, but a lot of people don't know it. Now, look, you see where it says mortgage payment of $1,500? Let's do a little math, right? Mortgage payment. Now, look, it shows you mortgage payment. Now, there's something called insurance and principal. I speak about this in my other channel. Interest and principal. The interest goes to the bank. The principal goes to the homeowner either to pay down the dollar amount of the house or the homeowner's pockets, right? Now, out of the $1,500, 30% of that goes to pay down the home. So that's $450. The neighbor stayed there for 4 years. So that's 48 months. So now that's about 21,000, 21,600. Now, just to break down something, the house when they bought it was 343. The neighbor stayed there for 4 years and he paid down 21,600. So the time that the neighbor stopped paying was 321,000, right? 321,000. The investor sold the house for 610,000, take away that 321,000, and that's given the investor 289,000 in order to profit. Now, what he did is he gave the neighbor 17,000 to move. And within 14 months, an investor made $272,000, which that should have been my neighbor's, which should have went to his kids and his financial future. But life happens. And he didn't allow me to help him, / it's information that's online. But sometimes when it happens to you, you're not thinking about going online to look at it, or you wait too late and whoever is there first is offering you something. Something is better than nothing, right? So guys, what's another variable I wanted to break down? Oh, guys, did I break this down? Let me see. If I didn't, I'm sorry if I'm bouncing back and forth here, right? Let's go here. Guys, he purchased the home in September 2019, right? This is what I wanted to break down to you. Guys, today is, it's February 26th, 2026 right now. You're thinking about buying a home and saying, oh, interest rates are high right now with 6%. Did you know if you're approved with all the documents that I'm trying to tell everyone online, go to my private platform, right, to get this information? You get the information, you apply it, then there's documents that you need that the bank will say, yes, you approve in order to get it done. To get 3.5, to get 3.5 or 1% down, guys. That means you can buy a house which interest rate is 6%, but because of the subject to and to show you how to find these homes, you can buy a home mortgage price today at 3.5%, guys. Now you might be confused. What I'm trying to tell you is with the subject to and with people stop paying their mortgage and with a pre-foreclosure, investors, what they do is buy the home at that huge discount and make the difference. What you can do is you get approved and you buy this home and take over the payments. That means you would be paying 3.5% for a home, guys. Then the benefits of it, you would have had 200 and whatever that dollar amount I broke down. I deleted it. But you could have had that $270,000 equity because the investor is making that cash. But you could have took over it. And don't forget, the bank actually has 365,000 homes that the bank has a problem with, that they really wish people knew about it, that they're approved. The bank is not in the business of putting an ad out saying this is how you can buy this house in a subject to. The bank has their own understanding. They're like, let's wait on the insurance money and get paid that way. But now I'm trying to educate you guys on how you can buy that. I'm trying to tell you either buy a house 3.5 or 1% because your home improved in equity, which is cash for your financial future. That's one. Or you can buy one of these subject to homes. There's people 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago that's defaulting on their mortgage today that you can get on this list. And once you approve, you can buy this house, guys. I really feel bad for my neighbor, but he wouldn't allow me to help him. And there's about 6 million homes a year that default on their mortgage, stop paying, that people can help them, but there's not enough helpers to put the advertisement out there. And then a lot of you guys are not qualified. If I had 100 people in front of me, which I get these calls a day, 100 people call myself or my company a day, and they're not qualified. So I'm trying to get everyone qualified that as soon as there's an opportunity, you can just jump on it for your financial future, guys. So I'm sorry if this video is long, but education or benefits, it's never just shortcut, guys. But guys, stay tuned for more information. And like I said, guys, I want you to go to my private platform where I can say more. Legally, I cannot say on these free platforms. Why? Because of how their contracts is written out, guys. I can't tell you, this is the bank, this is the requirements you need, go do it. It has to be ran by their financial advisors. There's things legally I cannot say about the banks how they process things. But on a private platform, I can share that with you guys. So guys, stay tuned.